This weekend, Julia Child is receiving a lot of attention through the movie starring Meryl Streep. Have anybody seen that movie yet? It's only been out since Friday night. Well, no one. Well, from what I've heard, it's a pretty good movie, and you have, John? The Schneiders have been to it already, so great. And is it as good as everyone says it is? We have a mix. We have a moment of 50-50 evaluation of the movie, and we'll have to go and decide on our own how you like it or not. But in any case, to stay in the joyous spirit of Julia Child this weekend, we have our own chef du jour who's been hard at work right here this morning, baking bread, or trying to bake bread. And that is Jeff Huber. And Jeff and Wanda have prepared the coffee hour for you, or the fellowship hour after church. And also, we had hoped, along with that, we'd have the sanctuary filled with the aroma of bread as you walked in this morning. But we had some technical difficulties with the bread making machine that Jeff was here and praying over at 7 o'clock this morning, but his prayers weren't answered. And we still might have that aroma when we go out into the fellowship hall and reminding us of the smell of bread and of our scriptures lesson today where Jesus said, "I am the bread of life." I've also read that our sense of smell is the sense that is most closely connected to memory. I wouldn't be surprised if the scent of baking bread, which I hope we might pick up a little later today, evokes a number of memories among you as you encounter that delicious smell. For me, just the memory of the smell brings back memories of many kitchens, my mother's, my grandmother's, and a number of parishioners over the years who, on one morning a week, set a time aside for baking bread, and making other baked goods in their kitchens. One piece of real estate folklore is that if you want to sell your house very fast, have some bread or cookies baking whenever your house is being shown to a potential buyer. The scent will trigger a sense of being at home and make for a quicker sale. So this morning, as we encounter John's lesson about the bread of life for the third time, with 2 more to go in the lectionary cycle in weeks ahead, we rely upon the scent of baking bread to help us recall the images of home. As I reflected on home and what is home to me this week, I found my thoughts going into some surprising places and directions. There certainly are a number of New England places where I feel very much at home whenever I get there. There's Cape Cod and Cambridge and the Berkshire Hills in Massachusetts. Anywhere on the Maine coast, whether it's the sandy beaches of southern Maine or the rock-bound coast up the coast a little further, or in the Vermont hills or on a large inland lake someplace. All of these places, when I'm there, it feels like I've never been away. It feels like my roots are there and I'm grounded for a change. But since my parents died a few years ago, I no longer have any one place there in New England that I think of as a place to go home to anymore. Over the years, other places on my own internal homing device have found orientation sites for my sense of home. My first visit to England was to attend the North American Studies programs there at Mansfield College in Oxford in 1982. And one of the things that I most strongly remember about that summer in Oxford was the deep feeling I had the entire time I was there of finally coming home. I still haven't figured it out and what that was all about yet, but maybe it's my having been an ardent reader of English history, stories, and literature since early childhood. Maybe it's in my blood, however that works. Or maybe it's my father's fondness for writers like Beatrix Potter. Dad made up dozens of his own Peter Cottontail stories and told them at bedtime to his children and to his grandchildren. I've returned to England twice since that first visit, and both times felt again that sense of being at home. Riding a train through the Cotswold countryside and watching scenes of small villages with thatched roofs and houses go by, walking through the shop-lined, cobbled and narrow medieval streets of a city, or worshiping in the grandeur of an old cathedral, I have a sense of belonging that I feel nowhere else. And I wonder if some of you who have German background and origins have that same sense maybe for Germany, and perhaps you feel that same way if you have the time to go there or the opportunity. This past month, my neighbor had planned a trip to Switzerland. Her son and her grandson were going to take her there. Illness kept her from making the trip this summer, which had been a lifetime dream. She's always wanted to go there because her grandfather immigrated to this country from Switzerland years ago, and she's heard so much about it. She's hoping that she makes the trip next summer. Geography alone is not the only definer of what is home for us. Relationships can also be a place where we can feel very much at home.